Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Vortex of a Spiritual Barbie podcast. I am back with another episode today to talk about a topic that I know all of us will go through. No humans on this planet are excluded from this experience. It's about releasing the judgment and opinions of others. And also, I have my notes here to share a bit more of the fact that people only see the world through their pain points, at least for most of humanity anyways. So I had some conflict thoughts about what to name this episode because I don't want it to be too long, and I want it to be easy to understand. So I just got guided that just go for the very initial download of the title, which is releasing the opinions of others and how to reframe it, or something along the lines of that. So first of all, I would love to share a bit of my backstory because story is always so relatable, and I believe that it always has the bigger impact. If you're listening to this, I'm sure in some way, shape, or form, you're like me. Growing up, I was always the good girl, or at least I tried my best to be. I grew up to be pretty rebellious, but I also grew up to be that little girl, young lady who just really wanted to be accepted for who she are and her feelings and her opinions and whatnot. And it's in a way also like a people pleaser, right? And we all know that being a doormat or people pleaser is really unhealthy, and it brings us further away from truly loving ourselves, because loving ourselves, it's not always being about a nice person. It's also holding that healthy, firm boundaries within ourselves. Circling back to the topic, I grew up to be that kid who had anger issues, really bad anger issues. Like, imagine raising my voice, slamming the doors, shouting back. It was bad, basically. And of course, on a surface level, maybe for other people, this kind of behavior is bad, considered a bad girl, problem child. But if you're a light worker, you're someone who's doing the inner work, you would know that it's much, much deeper than that. And I hold so much compassion for this part of me and any one of us who's going through that, because it's really a painful place to be in. When you're faced with so much vulnerability, and when it feels like your feelings, your needs are not met, are not validated, and no matter what you say, you have no voice in it, it's terrible, it's painful, and no matter what you try to do, no matter what you try to say, you're always wrong. You're always too much, too emotional, overthinking. Whatever you do, it's always too something. Whatever you do, there's always a counter attack, counter opinion. No, that's not the right way. No, you should do this. No, you should think this way. No, you should do this, do that. Without even asking us, have we thought of this? Or how do we feel? What kind of support you need? Oh, I'm here for you. I respect you. I love you. I hope the best for you, and I see you, you know? And most of the time, this feeling, this wound comes from our childhood. It's a really funny way that I hold my mic like this if you're watching the video version. So let me try this. Okay. I have so much compassion for my wounded inner child, and I was shown again today that there is still layers that is being brought up to heal. Long story short, I got triggered again, and it was so painful. I'm still learning, like most of us do. It's not there's no end to this journey. I only know for sure that it gets better, and it really does. So, another story is that I was always viewed as that kid who is too wild, too, I don't know, colorful, too rebellious, always causing problems. I'm feeling a bit emotional saying that because it's really, really difficult. And I do also understand where my parents are coming from. They could only see me through their own perspective of how they see the world. So coming back to the triggered part that I went through, that I still sometimes go through once in a while, and today it was a really difficult one. But I reminded myself, and thanks to my higher self, my guides, that thank you for showing me this contrast. And no matter what you're going through, I encourage you to, once you feel what you're feeling and once you ground yourself and come back to your center, hold compassion for what you're going through. Always, first and foremost, find a space that you can feel safe and comfortable with. In this case, I'm in my room and my cat is here with me. He always knows what's up. He's so cute there. And I was told, no, I'll circle back a bit. I got distracted. So my throat is making some vibration right now because at the moment I'm attempting to speak my truth, and at the same time I'm clearing some stuff. So sometimes you hear me as I speak, as I voice out my truth and my feelings, my throat will make some noises like burp. Okay, it's here again. So, and if you watch my story, Instagram story today, you would see that I shared a story where my feet, both of them, were painful today on the side because there was this new pair of shoes I bought. The size is my size, but for some reason it hurts my little toe. And if you know me, you would know that I also don't really wear shoes that often. And I just wanted one shoe that is in my color, pinkish, hot pink, doesn't matter, as long as it's pink, that I can wear regularly, besides having pink sandals, of course. I came back, I was in a car with my dad, and I came back. I know, I'll tell you what happened at the store at Skechers. So me and my bestie, after our brunch, and along the way when we were walking, I felt my feet hurting, and when we were walking around in Pavilion Kuala Lumpur, the mall, in my mind I was sort of like asking my guides whether, if there's a nearby shoe store that has a new pair of sandals or shoe for me that is in my color, which is hot pink, or similar, that I would really love a lot. If there's nearby store that has them, feel free to lead me the way. And the next thing I realized is that I'm at Skechers, and the first thing I saw on the display near the entrance was this super hot, full hot pink shoes, the comfy type, the cushiony type. And I was like, fuck, it's here right in front of me. Like, did I just manifested it? And so I wasn't so prepared to chase the new shoe, but I was so eager to try it on. It's like I was excited, but I was also eager because, wow, it just appeared right in front of me. And I'm really, really wanting to change my shoes. So I went in, I tried it on, and apparently it was the last pair for that size. It's so comfortable. We all know that Skechers has a reputation for really good shoes, so it's so comfortable. And it's definitely hot pink. Hot, hot, hot. I'm like, higher self, is this really for me? I still have the choice to choose, because we all have free will. And so I looked at my old shoes, and I didn't want to wear it anymore. Moving forward, I am intending to sell it as pre-loved once I get it cleaned and freshened up. And I only wore it twice. So coming back to this, I wore the new shoes right away. I got it. So damn happy and grateful. The staff at the shop was so kind as well. She helped me clean the shoes and helped me tie my shoelace for some reason, because I was tying my shoelace and she noticed that it was a bit loose at those I don't know what you call that, at the sides. It's okay, I don't know how to explain it. I was like, wow, I'm so supported. I'm so supported and well taken care of, which is what I intend every single day. All of my needs are met way before I even think or ask about it. No matter where I go, I'm respected. No matter where I go, I'm taken care of. No matter where I go, I am safe. I am, most important is respected. So after I got in the shoes and I walk around, it does feel more comfortable. But of course, any injury would need some time to heal, right? My little toes were already injured. There was skin peeling, and the staff actually gave me 2 pieces of plasters to apply on it, and such a sweet angel, oh my god, bless her. And so later on I just went back. My bestie went back, I went back, and when I reached the station, my dad just picked me up and we go back home. So upon reaching my doorstep, I instantly took out the shoes, just so my injured feet, my injured toes can breathe. So of course, with my dad opening the door, he saw that my shoes changed, and of course he knew that it's new. And at the same time, I also said to him like, my feet hurt so much, blah 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 blah. And the first thing he said, it's not about asking how my feet is. Guess what he commented? Pink color again? Are you not bored of it? He said that in Mandarin, but it's a translation for you. Are you not bored of it? Are you not bored of it? Too much pink, are you? Too much pink? In the market, nobody wear pink also? Nobody wears pink. So, the wounded inner child in me got fired up. She was so hurt by it. But as a defense mechanism, coping mechanism, she used anger to protect herself. She always have for a long time. And before I could even stop myself, I hold so much compassion for this, but I replied with, I forgot what did I reply. I said something like, well, I'm not here to follow anyone. When he said, nobody in the market wears this, I just said something like, yeah, I'm not here to follow anyone. And there's something else, but I forgot. Because after I said that, I immediately caught myself and said, remind myself, my guides were reminding me as well. Hold love, hold compassion, disengage. Disengage. It is so easy to react when you are triggered. And what that does is that we give away our power. We give away our truth. We give away our sense of self. When we react to someone's one-sided opinion, judgment. Oh no, I lost my train of thoughts. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, it will come back to me, no worries. When we react, we're no longer in tune with what we really need on the inside. I'm not saying you should not feel what you're feeling. You should absolutely notice, catch yourself feeling what you're feeling. Shower it with so much love. Whatever the other person say, in the healthiest way possible. We don't need to react at all. Sometimes a boundary may need to be placed. But also there are times where boundaries may not work. If the other person has a really, really huge ego that can no longer see beyond what their ego sees. I'll come to that in a bit. Boundary can only be accepted depending on the other person's level of consciousness and self-awareness. And sometimes if a boundary is not respected, eventually it just means that we need to keep a distance from them because it's not healthy for us. So yes, we're coming back to me catching myself and the reminder to disengage. And that's when I got the download to share. Once I calmed down a bit, once I calmed down in my safe space, here I am recording this because I know there's so many of us who go through this. It may not be the same example as what I've given, but we have so much that's being put upon us. Like no matter what we do, we can become a good girl, good boy. This is not right. This is not the best way. Or if you do too much, you get judged and maybe scolded, and all sorts of shits gets pointed at you. I'm really done with that, guys. Do you agree with this? I'm really done with that. I don't care who you are. You have every right to own your truth. Now, your truth is there because you're meant to live it. That's why we all have dreams. That's why we all have wishes. That's why we all have visions, desires. They are who and where we want to be. And we are meant to have it. I believe this so much. You know, anything that is not yet manifested and not shown in the real life does not mean that it's not possible. Only the ego would think otherwise. Because anything different makes it uncomfortable. Ooh, I'm so sorry, that was a bit bleh. Sorry, guys. So I'm saying 2233 as I was saying that. So releasing the opinions of others. If you're like me, you're a Chinese. Oh wait, that's not the right point that I want to make. So releasing the judgment or opinion from other people can be really difficult. First, I want you to accept that there's a difficulty. Second, accept that there's this difficulty and accept yourself at where you are right now. That's the most important thing, because what you're in denial in, it's hard to change it. You first gotta remove the denial and change to acceptance. When you accept it, meet yourself at where you are. Like, yes, I'm really hurt by this. I feel like I'm not enough. I feel invalidated, like I was expressing pain for my feet, but the other person does not see my pain, does not reassure me, does not care for me. They see other things that also hurt me, that made me feel hurt and abandoned. Abandoned in a sense that they don't see how I feel. They see based on what they believe to be true about the world and themselves, through the lenses of their own wounds and their traumas. Here's the next thing. This is more like a reframe, a perspective that I want, and I hope for everyone listening to this to, I wouldn't say you need to believe everything I said. It's just a perspective to think about and see if it works for you. But I believe it will. I believe in the things I share because I experienced this firsthand. It's painful as fuck. But it can be shifted. You can take back your power. You can take back your power. And it helps that you have a different opportunity to shift your perspective. So, I have a mini note here that says to reframe it, to reframe when you are faced with being hurt and triggered by someone who places unfair judgment and opinion on you. Doesn't matter who they are. It can be your spouse, your parent, your best friend. So, people only see their pain points. People view the world from their own wounds, traumas, beliefs. There's one more that came in, beliefs. Yes, beliefs. There is one, there was one reel on Instagram that I made quite a while back, I think over a year ago, that says, people only see the world through the lenses of their own beliefs. People only see the world through the lenses of their own beliefs. Let that sink in for a moment. If you need to pause, go ahead. If you need to write it down as a reminder, go for it, because it is life-changing for me. I came up with that myself. So, what does that mean? Right? For example, just now the example that I shared. I came back and I said my feet hurts. And of course, when you feel physically hurt, you would hurt emotionally and mentally as well, right? We are not a separate being. When we are hurt everywhere. So, I was saying that my feet hurts. And of course, my inner child, what she really desires is for her loved ones to care for her, to empathize with her, to take care of her, to show her love, acceptance. But instead, the other person, my dad, they see the other thing instead. They see the other thing that mirrors their own pain, their own wounds, their own beliefs. Kind of comes in like a set, these beliefs, wounds, traumas, because at every stage you're in life, you have a set of beliefs. In everything, you have a set of beliefs. So, hang on, I'm writing something. Okay. So, coming back to our parents' generations, my parents grew up in a poverty state. Of course, money is their biggest pain point. So I understand where he was coming from. Money was one of the wounds, pain points from his side. And also another thing that I got reminded by my higher self right now is his inability to speak and own his truth. Now, how does that tie in to me, who is doing my best to live and speak my truth? So, me acknowledging my pain, my feet, with me owning my truth by wearing my favorite color, investing in myself. That is my truth. That is my belief. That is what I am embodying. At the opposite side of things for him, he does not speak his truth. He has a poverty mindset. And he does not have the ability to self-soothe. But I do. So it's kind of like the opposite. So naturally, with all these baggages that he's carrying, that is his lenses. Imagine the glasses. Imagine those beliefs, wounds, traumas, whatever, are the glasses, the lenses. You see the world, anyone at all, anyone would see the world through the lenses of their own beliefs. So he believes that speaking your truth, owning your truth, being loud, being wild is too much, is wrong, basically, all sorts of wrong. He believes that investing in yourself is not the right thing to do. He does not believe in that. And he believes that if you have pain, you just endure it and put it one side. So it can happen to anyone, for sure. This is just an example. But my belief is different. I take care of myself. I believe in self-love. I believe in investing in myself. I believe in growth. I believe in abundance mindset, and I'm still learning it till today, and I'm embracing it, abundance mindset, and I know that I can change my reality by changing my inner world. So my view, my lenses are different. My lenses, the beliefs in my lenses are abundance, unconditional love, embodied truth, living authentically, and yada yada yada. I hope that lands well, and hope you understand how I just described that. If you need to repeat it, feel free to. You can draw it out if it's hard to imagine. Perhaps visualizing it would be easier. So I'm repeating what I wrote here. People view the world from their own beliefs, wounds, traumas from the past. People can only see you at the level that they see themselves. That was so good. I love it. People only can meet themselves at the level that they meet themselves. That's why we can feel really hurt when we feel invalidated by the other person. We will get really, really hurt when people are projecting their beliefs on us, because our beliefs and values are so different. It clashes, and everyone carries different baggages. In this case, I'm the one doing the work. I am clearing ancestral trauma. It's a hellhole to go through, but I want to do it, and it's part of my purpose as well. But my dad, on the other hand, is not. So separating myself from him, I truly empathize with what he's going through. time and time again, I see that his truth was shut. And it's really not an easy place to be in. So I want you to be able to see and try your best to reframe when you are faced with a similar situation. When you're just trying to live your life, go about your day, do your own things, make your own decisions, do what you need to do, but to be faced with an opinion, a judgment that totally disrespects or invalidates you, that is a really one hell of a shit show for sure. I really, really see that. So if you are able to reframe this, and I'm not saying you should understand completely what you're going through. It may take some time, conscious effort, and reminder that people will always think they are right, especially if they are still living with their ego. When they are not doing the work and they are still asleep, people will always think they are right. People always think that they are the right ones. And when they see someone shining their light, their ego will feel defensive and feel the need to project their shit on us. It's really shitty to face this, but another reframe perspective I want you to see is to see the wisdom in this contrast, in this trigger point, because I believe there's always a lesson in every trigger, in everything in life. In this topic is about other people's opinions, judgments, perspectives, whatever that is. It is always teaching us something. It is always teaching us something. It can be to strengthen your boundaries. Just examples. You don't need to totally get this down. It can be because you need better boundaries. It can be that the other person is mirroring something that is unhealed within you. In my case today, I was shown the contrast. I do have an article that I wrote about lessons in contrast in my Substack. You can look at it in the show notes. It's imchristinong.substack.com. There's one article that has the title of the lessons in contrast. If you want to look at it, feel free to look at it. Anyway, subscribe to my Substack if you want to. I look forward to see you there. Okay, so coming back to this, I was shown the contrast of what is still unhealed within me. It was being brought up to my attention just so I can see how painful it can be if something does not change. Whatever the change is depends on every person, depend on where they are in their journey right now. Mine was teaching me to meet myself with even more compassion, to set healthier boundaries. I noticed there's also still a part of me that still carries shame around speaking and living my truth and authenticity. Because when I bought the shoes, I was scared. Not because of money. I was scared that I would get quote unquote scolded by my parents. Why do you buy so many things? Why you waste money? Why so pain? Why so wow? Again, it's not about money. To them, it's about the money. To them, it's about not being able to speak their truth. For me, it's not about that. I felt so invalidated growing up every single time I want to live my truth. And of course, it was shut down, and eventually I kept everything to myself, and of course that did not end well. Story for another day. I was shown that this inner child of me, and we all have different inner childs, you know. I believe every version of ourselves in our lives that is in the past is considered our inner child. So that's how I see it. The inner child in me, I'm feeling around early 20s when I started to slowly embrace my truth a little bit more. My early 20s, start to go like, red hair, start to dress nicer, to really take care of my skin, start to put makeup, dress nicely. There were a lot of resistance with my parents in my early years, which also kind of ties to this. And sometimes I thought I'm over it, but apparently there are still layers to heal. That's kind of like the beauty of this healing journey, where when we heal, it's multi-layered. Like onions, you peel each layer one at a time and heal, and you grow a new skin, whatever that is yours. So reframe number 2 is see the wisdom, the learning that you are being shown to learn, and be grateful for the lessons, because it will make you wiser and so much stronger, because you know that this is not your shit, it's their shit, and you can hold so much unconditional love and compassion for them at the same time, not let it affect you. There's an energetic boundary there. Energetic boundary also exists, guys. So, and always have gratitude for yourself, for where you are right now. Gratitude for everything. Gratitude for everything. Those are the 2 key reframes for that. And don't forget to keep celebrating yourself. It doesn't have to be grand, it doesn't have to be big. It can just be as simple as a cute little dance for yourself and saying, I'm so damn proud of you, I'm so happy for you, I'm cheering you on. You're so strong and wise and beautiful and so worthy. And yeah, all the good stuff that you wanted to hear since you were little. Say things to yourself that you would want to listen and hear from others, not the other way around. Not criticism, not judgment, not one-sidedness, not critics, just love, unconditional love. So yes, coming back to the topic before I wrap up, releasing the opinions of others. Well, it's difficult, but it gets easier as you consciously and intentionally remind yourself that you can reframe it. You can take back your power, claim your truth, and be very patient with yourself. Be very, 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 very not comfortable, patient and compassionate with yourself every step of the way. Whenever you catch yourself feeling triggered, the first thing is to catch yourself, right? That's how you build the awareness, and that's how you can remind yourself that whenever I'm triggered, I'll catch myself, I'll come back to my center, I'll ground myself, I'll go to my safe space, let out if I need to, write it down or dance or do some shaky movements to let it all out, to rage or whatever. Establish safety within yourself, because when we are triggered, when we are hurt, we don't feel safe, right? And so establish safety, go into healing mode. Can be going to the nature, can be a meditation. Don't underestimate the power of meditation, guys. And getting into stillness with yourself. You get to see your inner world. So feel free to listen to this few times, because there's a lot of breakthrough I sense coming from all this, because it is a collective thing as well that we all go through from time to time. It's heavy, it's difficult, but believe in yourself. Most importantly, I believe in you. You're meant to do this. You're meant to heal ancestral trauma. You're meant to live and embody your truth. I'm doing it one thing at a time. Give yourself that compassion, that space to do it one step at a time. You don't have to understand it right away. Give yourself that space to integrate, and the lesson that you are learning, meant to learn, will just slowly be integrated and merged within your consciousness, and you'll eventually start to see things in a different way. I assure that. Okay? That is all for now. I hope it served you well. I love you so much. You are so, so worthy. Doesn't matter what other people say anymore, even if it's your family, close friends. We can all agree to disagree. That's a boundary there. We can all agree to disagree. You don't have to agree to everything that I'm sharing as well. You can take pieces of it. You don't have to take everything. It's just a perspective and a sharing. So yeah, I'll see you next time.